So actually this is, the session is like, we had a session from Vijay and then Mr. Ramaraju, and then we have a fireside chat. Mr. Raju could not able to attend because of the flight delays and all. So what I did is, I'm the moderator for the fireside chat, but again, 15 minutes, how do we ensure that? So I come out with a small presentation and then we'll get into a fireside chat. So this is about me. I'm Satyendra Pasalapudi. I'm basically from Kakinada, and that's where my interest in AP comes in. I will not go deep into it, but let me tell you, because the conference is more on the digital transformation and digital technology summit, there are 5 key areas in the industry when we talk about anybody, and this is part of the research we have done multiple years. The whole organizations, when they want to do a DTS or a digital transformation, always all the ERP products, all the CX products, or whatever the products we are having, we talk about the customer engagement, always. That's the one key value. And when a company or an organization, what value we are providing to the stakeholders is what the first and foremost question. Then the competition, we have to watch, always seeing that where the competition is going towards, and then innovation is a continuous process. We cannot avoid innovation. And then we talk about the data. Data is primarily, so now we are talking about the AI and all those things. Without the data, there is no AI. And cloud is the fundamental to innovation and turn data to the asset. Now, because we are talking about the DevOps and microservices architecture and all, I wanted to just delve deep into from where we got this particular microservices architecture. And I will just give you a basics, and I'm not going deep like Vijay, but definitely these are the basics where world is moving from 80s, 90s and 100s. If you see, we had a waterfall model when we talk about the initial 80s, 90s, then monolithic architectures, and we used to have only physical servers, then we used to have data centers. Then 2000, they said, okay, why don't we have this development process into an agile process, agile methodology, and we break the servers as a front end, back end, and all those things. NTR came into picture. Then the virtualization came into picture later, and there are hosted environments like the data centers. But after the internet bubble and all those things, those virtual servers, agile methodology doesn't work. So what is next? And that's where the DevOps came into picture, because development and operations has to work together rather than the separate teams. And as Vijay mentioned, because of this, I don't want to go deep into it, but microservices architecture came into picture. And to deploy the microservices architecture, virtual servers are going to take a more time in launching that. I will tell you in the next slide. Containers came into picture, and the cloud, which is there already in the things, and that cloud is going to be there for future. So this is where the evolution of the development and deployment process, and that's where we talk about the DevOps, we talk about the containers and all those things. Let me not go deep into it, but this is where where world is going towards, from the desktop, laptops, internet, mobile, cloud, and AI now. So the question is, DevOps, is it going to be staying there or moving towards, or whatever? So definitely the DevOps is going to be staying there. With the cloud, it has started, and now it is getting into AI side of the story. I don't want to go deep into it, but this is the architecture which Vijay just mentioned about. We consider everything as a service and an API, and the service can be populated. For example, the advantage of this particular DevOps architecture is, if you're running a Big Billion Day or a Freedom Festival or Freedom Sale in Amazon or Flipkart, overnight the millions and millions of users will be logging in and trying to do that. How do we scale is the question. And with this architecture, one can definitely scale. The basic difference, if you see in the evolution, virtualization and the containers, we talk about the Docker or whatever. So what is the difference why world moved towards is, when the sale is happening and the cart is one example of a service, and if there are hundreds of users are coming, you need to scale that service to hundreds of containers. So if you see here, in the virtualization framework, we have guest OS. What do you mean by that? So there is an operating system, and on the right side, the Docker doesn't have the operating system. The operating system is shared. So what happens is when I want to start a new container, I can start in microseconds. Whereas I want to start a virtualization server, it takes minimum 50 seconds, 30 seconds, where you can't scale. That's the basic fundamental thing, where the containers are very good in terms of scale, where you don't have the operating system, the launch of a container happens in microseconds. That's the world has moved towards. But in another 5 minutes, I'm going to talk about, anybody knows why the container name came into the IT industry? Any guesses? You will see that in the next 3 slides. We know container, but container is what I see it in the road or in your Vizag airport, or shipyard. All the containers will be there, right? So what happened is, when the evolution of software development happened, we have static website, web front end, queues, analytics, all those things are there. And that particular application what you're running has to be deployed on laptop, server, and you need to run it on a cloud or whatever. The multiple combinations and permutations is what it has come. So you need, whatever you write once will not work on the other things. You have to test it thoroughly and all. And these are all the possible combinations. Analytics DB, web front end, static web. You should test it whether you are running on a VM, whether you are running on a container, whether you are running it on a server, laptop or desktop or something. There are permutations and combinations. The same analogy or same problem in 1960s or 70s, the shipping industry has it. So we'll see here. If shipping industry or a transport industry wants to transfer a car or a piano or a bag or whatever, what happens? Right from your home to the destination address where you are shipping, you need to have a multiple handlers. For example, for a lift a car, you need a bigger one. For lifting a bag, you need a lifter. It's all like chaos. And if you see the possibilities here, all these things, the shipping areas, when the product is getting transfered, you need to have all those equipments. There's a theft and there's a time and all. So people said, they invented something called container, where we will place all these items inside a container, and then you have the entire equipment is equipped enough to carry that container across. So it's the speed of transportation, then the cost, then the losses are less, there is no theft, everything. Same concept. That's where the Docker, when they started this, they used the term called container. So that's where I wanted to just give you the analogy of it. And this is where the industry before and industry afterwards, and you know the rest is the history, where everybody started talking about the industry, and that's where software industry also adopted the same analogy, and now it is booming. And I don't want to go deep into it, like why the Docker and all, because of the time. But let me tell you, where Vijay was mentioned about the container from the Docker, but how do we deploy it? How do we launch it? How do we scale it? Is where the Kubernetes came into picture, which is nothing but the DevOps framework and container orchestration, we call it as. Orchestration is the word, and then you do it on the managed services and later. Okay. Keeping in view the next 20 minutes, we will get into a fireside chat. Because there is a session going on the top on the AI. Is the sound coming? There is an example which I presented in 2016 in Lendi College when I came for the campus selection. This particular small 3 minutes or 2 minutes video, that time I'm talking about 2016, the video is still relevant today. Why and all I will talk about, because AI is already there. AI is here. It's not that it's somewhere it will be coming in the future. But the future in 2025 will be agentic AI. So this example, just watch, and then we will talk about what exactly the way the future is going on. Sound please.
No, it's just construction. Yeah, that's all. No, I'm not driving.
Are you okay?
Yeah, you?
I'm good.
Oh, no, not you. Listen, I'm gonna have to call my agent. I'm gonna get right back to you.
Mr. Burton, this is INFOLOB. We've received sensor data that indicates you were in an accident. Are you injured in any way?
I'm not injured, no.
Is anyone else injured?
I don't believe so.
Like, where's my agent's number?
We have pinpointed your location and we are showing your car is not drivable. So we are dispatching an Uber car to take you to your destination.
That would be great.
I'm pressing 1. English. E-N-G-L-I, English.
May we give your coordinates to our appraiser drone to perform the appraisal?
Absolutely.
We have received the photos, assessed the damage, authorized the repairs, selected a qualified repair facility, and have dispatched a tow truck to take your vehicle to that facility.
Perfect.
Yes, hi, this is... Yes. Oh.
We have looked up the other vehicle's insurance, transmitted the appropriate data to create the claim, and filed the California SR1 accident report. Can you confirm the information is correct on your phone, then hit the accept button?
I'll check it right now. Okay, all done.
Thank you. Your Uber car is arriving now.
Ah, I see it coming.
Accident, not payment. Accident.
Your tow truck should be there now. Don't forget to leave your keys in the vehicle. Thank you for using INFOLOB, powered by Pivotal Labs.
Okay. I just want to spend 2 minutes of the time. This is a 2016 video available in YouTube long back. So I took that as a customer success. How do we redefine the customer success? If you see here, and now it is still relevant on 2025, where we are talking about the agentic AI. The back car has got an insurance. The front car has also got an insurance. So as soon as the accident happened, the sensor data from that particular car went, and then everything is triggered automatically, and a call came. Then the data also took the drone came into picture immediately, had the images, captured the other car information. From there they went and did the insurance check of the opposite car, then the damage assessment, confirmation from the user, there is a Uber car is parallel there, and there is a towing truck. It all happened in 2 minutes. Imagine all these things, so humans are going to do it? Absolutely not. It is where the AI coming into picture, and then the agentic AI is nothing but the future is agentic AI, because what is happening is humans is not needed. If you set that particular context of saying that this is where you have to do it, and you're giving the logic in such a way, and automatically the agents are going to take the decisions. And this is an example of an agentic AI, the thought process in 2016, but it will be a reality going forward in the next 2 years and all. And behind the scene, DevOps, microservices, all those things are in play. IoT, big data, AI, DevOps, microservices, drones, everything is in the play, and the culmination of all these things is where the future, and this is how every sector is going to be transformed the same way how this example is. That's where I said, and actually I have not prepared this presentation for your audience. Yesterday I was in the Lendy College for them, and as soon as I came to know that the presenter was not there, I said, let me take this thing, and then there is a parallel session of agentic AI, or AI is going on, so why don't this audience will be up things. So the future of DevOps is the agentic AI perspective. So DevOps is going to stay, and it will going to be multiplying when you're talking about the agentic AI in action. And if you see, and this is information from December 2025 in US, and we are talking about this in Vizag in January 2025. So there is a company called Anthropic, where they're coming out with a called Model Context Protocol, which is where we call it as an MCP. And this protocol is going to ensure that, for example, if you want to create an agent to do some activity, you are exploring with an MCP, designing it, design the agent, deploy the agent, and optimize the AI agent with whatever the things. It's a 4-step process for starting that particular AI process or agentic process. And future will be like, for example, all this robots talking to each other is where the future is. That's where I said DevOps perspective, we will be there in future. And then agentic AI, what exactly the things? For example, streamlining insurance claim processing. You have just seen that example, and this particular PPT, I just took it maybe 1 hour back, but that example which I've showed you is 2016. And enhancing cybersecurity measures, maybe the next topic is on cybersecurity, transforming customer service, upscaling the software development and QA. So use of generative AI and DevOps to accelerate the workflows. So if you talk about workflow is the future, and workflows currently people are doing having the people in mind, the person's end users in mind, but it will be automatically the development will be going towards the agentic AI side of the story. So thank you very much. So next 10 minutes we will be talking about some of the questions, and if audience have any questions on that, Vijay and me will be there. So I started as a moderator but become a speaker, and now I'll be moderating as well. Thank you very much, and looking forward to talk to you all.